kingdom is ready to take shape. The people are eager for guidance. Their destiny is in your hands. Arise, Watcher. The story of your kingdom begins now.
The Sims Medieval is an interesting but only partially enjoyable take on the Sims life management so many fans have come to know and love. It's got the charm, it's got the Simlish gibberish, and it's got angry Sims getting into scuffles. But a lot of the freedom has been stripped away in favor of performing very specific tasks. You can decorate buildings and buy new stuff, but the dollhouse appeal of the series is neutered here. There's still some fun to be had, and the quests offer some interesting flexibility in how you complete them. But it's ironic how the main Sims games make the mundane tasks of modern life so fascinating, and how the Sims Medieval makes the fascinating subject of medieval life rather mundane. So of course, it's medieval times. Rather than control a household, you instead control Sims known as heroes. Starting with a monarch sim, you perform quests and eventually start to add new structures and other heroes to the kingdom. You've got a priest, a doctor, a spy, a merchant, and so on. Each hero has specific tasks he or she can perform. The doctor collects leeches and medicates the sick and injured. The bard writes plays and poems and performs them for other Sims. The blacksmith gathers stone and metal and crafts it into armor and weapons. Quests involve having you controlling one or two of these Sims at once while completing objectives. For example, you might need to discover the source of a disease spreading around the kingdom. That involves talking to citizens, collecting their blood, investigating different areas, and so on. In the meanwhile, you need to keep your heroes' moods high, which means performing 2 optional tasks each day. You also need to make sure that they sleep and that they eat. There's some fun to be had here as you send your Sims around. Quests can be performed in different ways and with different Sims, which is a nice bit of flexibility. And the setting and structure are different enough from previous games that you want to see where things take you. But the novelty wears off when you realize how reliant The Sims Medieval is on repetition. Campaigns are called ambitions, and as you move from one to the next, you see the same quests pop up. When you hold court as your monarch, the citizens all bring the same petitions over and over. What looks like a large amount of content is actually dozens of hours of padding. Eventually, you speed through each individual task because you realize it's all the same things over and over again. And the freedom you'd want is actually quite limited. You can shop and eat and socialize, but if you spend too much time away from your quest, the game penalizes you. Starting a new ambition means starting a new kingdom from scratch, but it's the same exact kingdom and everything's all in the same place. This isn't a life of your own making, as much as it's a life that's thrust upon you. Granted, some of the hero abilities are fun to play with. Your bard writes plays, hires an actor, and then performs on the stage at the tavern. It's fun to watch, and it's a neat new mechanic. You also get to be a little creative, naming poems and plays yourself. Create a wizard and create spells to impress the locals. But much of the time, it's hard to shake the idea that your Sims are having more fun than you are. Your merchant travels to faraway lands that you never get to see. Your monarch defeats a mighty dragon, but you don't see or play the battle, you just get told about it. Your task is to do all the busy work. Of course, previous Sims games had lots of busy work too. What made them wonderful was that they were experiences of your own making. You flexed your imagination and made adventures out of everyday life. And you got to build and decorate hovels and mansions. But forget building a wondrous castle in The Sims Medieval. You can deck out different buildings with different furniture and decor and so on, but the limited camera view you get of interiors sucks out some of the fun, and the lack of a proper build mode is another loss that comes with no obvious gain. But you'll be at first inclined to give The Sims Medieval the benefit of the doubt. After all, it's got the charm and the wit, and it's got wizards and knights and spies. It's an interesting mix of life simulation and role-playing game, but it's an uneasy mix. The sim part doesn't grant enough freedom to make that aspect as much fun as it should be. And the RPG part has you doing all the fetch quests, but never giving you an epic adventure to balance them. The intro to the game tells you you're in the role of the maker, that is, God. But in The Sims Medieval, you don't play God as much as you're a sort of Renaissance fair middle manager.
There.